So hey you guys. Alrighty. So Spirit is giving me a channeled message. Karmics are fearing death. Now I seriously have to ask why, you know? Death is basically rebirth. You know, we are conceived, we develop in our mother's bellies, and then we're born into this world. We experience life, the highs and lows, the lows and highs. And when it's time for us to go, it's time for us to go. However, how we choose to leave this world is based on the decisions that we made. A lot of people associate death with freak accidents and things like that, as if, you know, unsolved murder mysteries. But the reality of death is, just because someone may be planning and plotting to take your life doesn't mean you have to give into it. You know, if someone is consistently planning and plotting on taking your life, well, that just means you have to learn how to, you know, reprioritize. What is it that you need to get rid of? What baggage are you carrying around that will support, you know, these death curses that are constantly being sent your way? You know? I mean, I'm going to open up to you guys. I used to definitely love to just numb my emotions to the point where I would walk into dangerous situations because I felt that that was my reality. And I didn't understand that my family and, you know, the people around me who I considered friends and even strangers were cursing me on a daily basis. You know, I grew up in a Christian home where I was taught that don't defend yourself. Whatever happens, just forgive them. Honor your mother and father, things like that, to the point where, you know, I was literally 7 just standing still so my mom could punch me and black my eye out. And then, you know, made sure she convinced me pretty good with an additional beating before school. Tell them that your sister did this. So this is where we can think about death. A lot of people think about death in the physical sense of things. But death really starts with when your dreams don't come true. When you give up on making your dreams come true. A dream deferred will have someone become a sociopath. Think about it. Connected to your dreams, you have life. You want to basically get up every day, even though you know there will be highs and lows. Even though you know that climbing up the mountain, sometimes there are those who will try to send boulders down the mountain, and you're going to have to learn how to move swiftly while rock climbing, things like that, moving out of the way of danger. Okay? And it's not as if we don't see the warning signs of death, especially if you're a highly targeted individual and a lot of people are doing death curses on you so that you can attract unfortunate event after event after event so it can look like a freak accident happened. You have to really be mindful. What do I need to get rid of? So with me opening up to you guys about this, I know that I used to feel this urge to constantly go out and flaunt and floss because I did not feel as if my value was simply connected to me just being me. You know, I had been conditioned to think that my value only stemmed from what I was able to do for someone or give to someone. And now I'm just like, you ain't getting shit from me. If you ain't my kids, you better give shit to yourself. If me putting out this information ain't enough, well, I don't care how you feel. But I care how me and my kids feel. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to death curses, and these are increasing a lot, this is a spiritual warfare now that's taking place. You have to keep in mind that karmics are only projecting onto you what is going on inside. So with this frenzied activity to cause death on someone who exposes their vulnerabilities, karmics are afraid of these vulnerabilities being seen by the people they're working with, because they understand that as hard as the people they're working with is going to help bring you down with this increased gang stalking, but mostly it's energetic right now because a lot of people are afraid of the physical law. So there's a lot of energetic gang stalking going on, okay? Physically, it is at a minimum because a lot of people have a lot to lose. A lot of karmics with children are about to lose their children due to various reasons, okay? So a lot of karmics are not, they're not going to be that publicly messy, but they're going to just go in and hurt you physically. They have a lot to lose. And losing their children will, remove the quote-unquote safety mask they have to hide what they're doing in the background. Okay? So there's a lot of energetic gang stalking. A lot of death curses being put on you if you're listening to this. So as you're hearing this, realize that death is rebirth. Spirit's going to be sending you a whole lot of information, messages of how they're trying to, wish death upon you. And so take heed to it. Alrighty? So now let's get into why the karmics are fearing death. Because death is rebirth. The human soul is eternal. When we leave this body, well, our souls go into another body, and most of us simply reincarnate, maybe through the same karmic family if we haven't closed out a particular karmic cycle. And one may ask, why do we come back to the same karmic family? Well, the 10 of Swords and 9 of Swords has popped out. And this is related to fear of death. On this 10 of Swords card, there's 4 people who have committed suicide. One person is, willingly choosing to commit suicide. And there's a person who is, orchestrating this. So this right here sounds like, to me, there is someone on a much deeper level who is, convincing a cult of people that it's safer for you to take your life instead of facing your fears. So what this says to me, this card is definitely saying to me that some of us, have played dead, with people who have went above and beyond to terrorize us with traumas. Because what I'm seeing, this person who is supposedly going off the cliff looks like an earth angel. They're very light. And what I'm imagining is that this earth angel is going below this cliff. And the individual who is orchestrating these particular deaths isn't actually peering over the edge. They're just taking, okay, well, you died. So what I'm imagining is this earth angel's going, you know, underneath the cliff. The person who's orchestrating these death things is not going to get too close to the edge because they're afraid of actually, you know, dying themselves. And what I'm sensing is the person is thinking that the person drowned in the ocean. So if you, I must have a picture of this particular one so you can see how I'm describing it. Now the Nine of Swords, and there's going to be a part 2 of this, is showing me that a lot of ways to cause someone to commit suicide is to have them freeze in fear. So then this Nine of Swords, there's Medusa. Okay, she has the snakes coming out of her head. All right, so she's basically, this is fear connected to the psyche. All right, wisdom of the psyche. Any poisonous, toxic experience you've had is full of wisdom. All the venom that you have experienced is full of wisdom. That is why it is so painful to face. So a lot of men are easily swayed by how powerful and strong the fear of a trauma is, not realizing that the venom connected to the trauma is actually much stronger than the fear itself. All right. There's definitely going to be another part to this. I really hope that you guys are enjoying this. By the way, I want to thank the Tarot of Sacred Feminine. This is my favorite deck. Sis always comes through. 1212. Something's about to happen. Someone look up 1212 angel number and put it in the comments, babies. Thank you. So we have the Two of Swords, supported by the Knave of Cups. So the crow is going to be very important. And then with the Two of Swords on this particular deck, there is a wheel. So this is saying that whatever karmic cycle you had with these karmics is the death curses they're sending your way. So in this moment, take the time to really slow down and just notice what has been consistent in your life with spiritual attacks. This is going to be the same exact tactics that's going to be used against you. But in this particular moment, it's going to be amplified because multiple karmics are going to share their experiences with each other of how they terrorize and traumatize you. And this death curse that they're putting out towards you is to basically amplify all the curses, or as many as possible at once, to hit you from left and right, so that if you do fall into this particular death trap, it won't be that one thing that happened. It's going to be multiple things at once, okay? So Spirit is going to be sending you a lot of, you know, signs. Black birds are going to be very important. When you see black birds, that means you should drink some water, okay? Drinking water is going to ground you, alrighty? That's it for part 1.